Oh, I feel for my brother. Feel for my brother.
Hey everybody, John Van Dyke here for New Jersey Exposed. Today is Tuesday, March 8th, 2022. Time is 12:13 p.m. Jersey time. A sunny, well, partly sunny kind of day. Temperatures in the upper 40s, but we got some wind, and that's making it not so nice that way. All right, this is a story pertaining to New Jersey, so you people out there in Jersey, pay attention. This is on NJ.com, and this came out on March 4th, 2022. It reads as follows. Like a nightmare, NJ man paralyzed during police encounter relives incident in court. There it is, right there. And to you bootlickers out there, feel free to chime in. Love to hear what you have to say about this one. On Friday, Javier Ingram entered Camden Federal Court in a hospital. You imagine you're so screwed up, fucked up, from the encounter with the cop that you got to appear in court in a bed, in a hospital bed. Unable to move his arms, use his legs, or wiggle his toes. Afterward, he told the jury how he became a quadriplegic after a run-in with police 8 years ago. Well, I'm sure this was an isolated incident, and let me guess, the officers feared for their safety. He was resisting arrest. He was whatever. It was the first time Ingram had spoken publicly about what happened on June 12, 2014, after he fell while running from Camden County Police. Well, there it is. It's not the police fault. He was running from them. He told the court 3 officers beat him, and one stepped on his neck, causing injuries that left him paralyzed from the neck down. Now, the question is, I haven't read this whole story, so what has happened to the police officers? Were the one that stepped on his neck, were any of them fired? Anything happened to them? Let's not hold our breath. It's a night like a nightmare, I'm now 28 recall. I thought it was a dream. I thought I would be able to wake up and be able to walk again. Ingram testified Friday in a civil trial that stemmed from a 2014 civil rights lawsuit his lawyers filed against Camden County. I'm surprised they didn't settle this. Maybe they offered and they didn't take it. Against Camden County, his police department, and one officer. The lawsuit alleges an officer used excessive force, failed to provide medical care, and that the police department neglected to properly train and supervise the officers involved in the incident. Well, listen, these kind of things take place because you're hiring sociopaths. And as I've told you people, sociopaths are people who lack empathy. They do not feel the pain of others. It's all about them, nothing to do with you. So, because this cop stepped on your neck and breaks it, and then you need medical care, he doesn't feel any pain out of this. He's probably laughing at the whole thing. Good, you deserved it. We had to chase you. And it's been long known in the police community that if an officer has to chase you and they catch up, you're going to get a punch. I've been told that by more than one. Okay. The case hinges on how Ingram sustained the injuries. His attorneys, Beth G. Baldinger, and Corey J. Rothbort, Massey, Slater, Katz, and Freeman in Roseland, have argued that the officers profiled him. They maintained that Ingram had ran because he had an outstanding warrant for a driving violation. He also ran because he knows that these cops are all maniacs, especially over there in Camden. Camden is the OK Corral. It's probably the biggest shithole. I don't know which is the bigger shithole, Newark or Camden County. I'm probably going to say Camden County is a big shithole. When Ingram fell, when Ingram fell, the attorney said 2 officers held Ingram down with their knees as they punched him, and a third officer who arrived on the scene stepped on his neck. The attorneys alleged that the officers tried to make Ingram stand and failed to get him immediate medical care after the incident, worsening his injuries. How many more stories do myself and others have to report about these cops perpetrating violence? And my question to you law enforcement people out there, Why is all this necessary? Why do you have to do this to people? Why? Why do you have to do it? Why do we have to keep reading these stories after stories of you hurting people because you got mad that you had to chase after somebody, or somebody said something you didn't like, so the way you're gonna pay him back is you're gonna punch him and hurt. And now you did this to this guy here. He's 28 years old. He's paralyzed. I don't care how many millions of dollars he's gonna get. It's not gonna bring his legs back. Is there anybody out there would trade their legs and arms for $1 million? I know I wouldn't. This poor guy can't even wipe his ass anymore. Can't go to the bathroom. He's totally dependent on other people. And these cops that do this crap to him, I bet they put their head to that pillow every night and sleep like a baby, don't they? They're probably like, good, screw him. The county and its attorneys contend that Ingram injured himself when he fell. On Friday, Ingram testified for about 2 hours, describing what happened that night, and he struggled since he became paralyzed. Well, you know what? Knowing what I know about these heroes and all the stories that I've done over the years, I 100% believe this guy. Yeah, he fell. If he tripped and fell, what is he? He's going to land forward. What's going to? He's going to bust his jaw, bump his head, break a rib, break a wrist or something? No. We all know that this is typical operating procedure for these bad cops. On Friday, let's see what else. On June 12, 2014, around 9:30 p.m., Ingram, then 20, was hanging out with friends in Chestnut Courtyard on Sycamore Court apartment complex where he lived with his grandmother. Well, that's a white flag right there. Officers approached and Ingram said he and the others dispersed. He was nervous because he had an outstanding warrant for driving without a license. He said so he tried to avoid the officers by going to a nearby liquor store. When he left the store, Ingram testified that one of the officers charged at him, so he ran. I was scared, Ingram said. I didn't understand why he was coming straight at me. Officers Nicholas Fava and Antonio Ganetta pursued Ingram north on 7th Street, South 7th Street. At one point, he slipped and fell, landing on his hands and knees, and then his stomach. Afterward, he testified that 2 officers caught up to him, subdued him, and forced putting their knees into his back as they punched him and handcuffed him. Ingram said he screamed in pain, telling the officers he could not breathe. Too bad there's no cameras around there, and this is back before the police were required to have body cams. Moments later, Jeremy Merck, then his sergeant, arrived. Ingram said he told Merck he couldn't feel his legs. Merck allegedly replied, "Shut up," and stepped on his neck. Ingram said he heard it crack. Afterwards, Ingram testified the officers tried to sit him up, but he fell over because he had no feeling in his legs. He said he blacked out, and woke up in a hospital on a ventilator. His injuries included a damaged spinal cord and displaced vertebrae. Ingram would never walk again. I hope nobody has to go through what I went through, he said, but as long as there's bad cops out there, they will. The county officers have refuted Ingram's account of what happened. Well, we all know they're liars. Why would this guy lie about that? About him falling down and what happened? I believe the victim. I don't believe these cops. They all lie. They all conspire with one another. The county officers have refuted, Then Police Chief J. Scott Thompson called it an accident of his own accord. On Friday, William Tambuski, the attorney for Camden County and his police department, briefly cross-examined Ingram, asking why he ran from the police. Why he ran? The same reason everybody else runs from these thugs, gang members. Ingram reiterated that the officers charged at him. The county attorneys had argued that Ingram ran because he had a stolen handgun and drugs on him when police initially approached. However, the 3 officers later told different stories about who found the drugs and where. It's probably all a lie. They probably planted the gun on him. Ingram has denied ever having a gun. Marcia Fava and Janetta remain on the police force. Merck is no longer with the department. Police charged Ingram with receiving stolen property, resisting arrest, weapon and drug possession, related offenses. More than a dozen friends and families came to court. Blah, blah, blah. All right, so There's more to the story. During Ingram's testimony, the judge stopped twice so staff could assist Ingram. Once so nurse could scratch Ingram's mustache. I don't want to laugh at the guy. Poor guy. You get one of those itches, you can't scratch it. You can't do anything. Once so nurse could scratch Ingram's mustache, another time so someone could adjust Ingram's microphone, which had fallen from his face. It's hard, Ingram said about his life. You can't do nothing for yourself. This is very sad. Should he have run from the police? Most of you are going to say, no, he shouldn't have run. But, you gotta ask yourself, or look at it this way. You're living in an area that's the OK Corral. It's the hood. It's a shithole. The cops are a bunch of creeps. You're living in a jungle. It's a concrete jungle where these at. And there's different sets of rules out there as opposed to, say, where I live. I mean, if the cops came at me, I wouldn't run. I'd just stay there because I know the cops around here aren't as bad as they are in Camden. So it's a different set of rules. So yeah, the guy's gonna run. You gotta, another thing too. You say, well, I got a warrant on me, and maybe if I run, I stand a chance of getting away. If I don't run, I don't get away. But it's a motor vehicle warrant. So what are they going to do? They're going to keep you in jail for something? It's a bench warrant? What are they going to do? They're going to take you down, hold you for a day, and then the judge's going to cut you loose? They're not going to keep you in jail. Unless it's a bench warrant and you didn't show up for court, then they may keep you in jail or require some type of bail. So, and then, you also got to look at his kid's upbringing. He's living with the grandmother, so what's that tell you right there? And I was just saying, because you're making judgments. And yeah, I make a lot of judgments. I bet this kid has no mother, no father. They're probably, one's in jail and the other's probably on the corner. I don't know these for a fact. I'm just alleging. So, this kid is not brought up probably in the best of home and doesn't have the best of thought process like a lot of us do have. So, again, I believe what the kid said, that the cops beat the crap out of him, put the knee on his neck. This is typical cop behavior. We all know it. Everybody watches my channel, follows police, knows the crap that they do. I will put the link in the description. Go read the lengthy story yourself. John Van Dyke from New Jersey Exposed. Till next time, people.
A lot of my brothers are dead or gone. They've been hanging on the block a little too long. What can I say? I hope they live to see a brighter day. And the ones that are doing